So the Maple Leafs finally signed Alex Nylander. Well, he was signed to an AHL deal, but that's not a real NHL deal. Now, I was really interested in this one because when he first signed with the Leafs, actually, I think it came out like maybe a month after or something, that he had other NHL deals from other teams. Now, I don't know if the Maple Leafs had some kind of agreement with him or they were going to go out of their way to sign an NHL deal. But yes, today, officially, the Maple Leafs have signed Alex Nylander to a 1-year minimum or around minimum NHL deal. And the dream is not only alive, but the dream is thriving, and I love it. So it looks like we're going to be able to see 2 Nylanders ripping around the ice, which is honestly hilarious. Now, I really, 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 really hope that this works out for the Leafs. Like, it would just be fantastic. Like, can you imagine if, again, Alex Nylander doesn't have to be amazing, but if he could just be decent. Let's say, I mean, I might be asking for a lot here. Let's say he's a 40-point consistent player for the rest of his career. What a huge get that would be for the Leafs. You know what I mean? To get a guy that's a depth third liner. And by the way, I've been harping on this for a while, that they need depth in their bottom 6 desperately. Their bottom 6 players are not giving them anything. And it's really good to see that the Leafs are finally starting to realize that. Because once your scoring dries up in your top guys, you can't expect your top guys to do everything for you. It's just not going to happen. Now, let's talk about Alex Nylander's performance in the American Hockey League. He's been good. He's been real good. He's around a point per game. He's still a young player. He performed well in the NHL last year. This could be a huge win by the Maple Leafs. Now, the one thing that does concern me about Alex Nylander is his level of inconsistency. You know, Nylander, his brother, kind of has a level of inconsistency in his game too, or he did earlier on in his career. But you could really tell that William Nylander, early on in his career was going to have a really, really, really good career, because he was like a 60-point player earlier on in his career. But you could see when this guy grew into a man, he was going to be unstoppable, and that's what we're seeing today. But what's happening here with his brother is actually kind of similar. So they're kind of similar in that nature, but his brother is inconsistent. But if you're not as good as William, then your inconsistency is going to cause even more issues, because your floor is much lower, if you understand what I mean. So he's been very consistent. I think he was drafted 7th or 8th overall. I mean, he's a highly touted talent, but he's just one of those guys that could never find his footing. Now, he is, in my opinion, an NHL player. Now, I remember him saying, as I already said before, that he had NHL offers from other teams. I don't really know how exactly true that is. This is one thing that I'm kind of questioning myself, like how many offers did he really have? Because that one is confusing to me. Like, listen, I love the Leafs, and I understand that he wants to play with his brother, but if he had other NHL offers, like, why wouldn't he just take that? That's very weird to me. But maybe he just like really, really, really wants to play with Nylander or his brother, right? I mean, it would be a huge bonus if he could play center, but alas, I mean, that's just not really going to happen. You know what I would love to see more than anything would be Fraser Minton in the middle, and then both Nylanders on each wing. I would absolutely love that. And hey, listen, if you have a guy that had a good season in the NHL last year, showed he can perform at an NHL level, albeit he has shown inconsistency, there's no doubt about that, why wouldn't you give him an opportunity? Like, the Leafs need to realize that when you aren't performing in your bottom 6, and Craig Berube needs to realize this too, and the management, if you are not performing in the bottom 6, you need to make changes. Like, you can't just run the same guys out here that are not performing to the level that they should be, right? You can't keep on rolling Max Domi out when he's just not producing. Now, Max Domi is injured, obviously, but the past couple Maple Leaf videos that I have made have certainly said that at the end of the day, They need to fix their bottom six. They need to do it in any way possible, okay? I'm a big fan of experimenting in NHL teams. I can't stand people in hockey that are so stoic and they say, well, we got to figure it out. You got to keep your lines together. Like, yes, if a line's performing well, why not keep it together? But if your guys are on pace for like 0 goals or like 5 goals in a season, switch it up. I don't care if we're going to make Nick Robertson mad. The guy's got 1 goal. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, listen, I don't know about you guys, but Nikita Grembenkin's looked good in his last game. Now, to be fair, he might just be running off of adrenaline. You don't know. Alex Nylander's play in preseason wasn't that impressive to me, but honestly though, who cares? It's preseason. Preseason literally doesn't mean anything. We already see it with Nick Robertson, where you have a player that, oh yes, he's good, but like, you know, whenever you start playing him against other NHL players, he just doesn't perform to the level that he does. Preseason is not real hockey, and it literally does not matter, so I just genuinely don't care about that at all. Albeit, like, when I watched Nylander play in the preseason for the Leafs, he just never stood out. He never used his speed. He didn't really make hard plays at the net. He just didn't stand out. But here's the thing. You got the regular season now. He's going to be full of adrenaline. He's going to be playing with his brother. I mean, I think that Berube will probably put them on the same line, which is going to be pretty cool. And we're going to be able to see it. He's finally on an NHL contract. And at the end of the day, consistency in the bottom 6 is what the Maple Leafs need more than anything. They need a couple of consistent... Again, you can have a 4th line that's just good defensively and doesn't give you much, but you cannot have your 3rd line just giving you nothing. Like, you need 3 lines that can score to some degree in the NHL. That's my opinion anyway. Why don't you drop your opinion below, like, comment, and subscribe if you could. I'm going to leave the video there. Tell me your thoughts and opinions on this signing by the Maple Leafs. And have a great day, guys. Goodbye.